I was in the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, and in the OSI, in addition to criminal matters, the OSI also investigates UFOs. And because of that, I spent several years in the OSI, and during that entire period, one of the things I did was go chasing them down wherever they were.
What did you find?
Pardon?
What did you find? What UFOs did you find?
Well, put things in order here. The first incident, and I think the most significant one that I was really associated with, two F-86Ds, and the Hanford Atomic Energy plant, if you know where that is on the Columbia River.
Mm-hmm.
And, this UFO was headed toward that, and they scrambled. Two 86s.
What year?
Again, I swear this is 1972.
Okay.
Anyway, as he made his intercept, he got to about 20 or 30 yards at 6 o'clock. In other words, directly behind it. And the thing didn't turn. It continued its flight toward the Hanford area. And what it did, in an 86D, they have a pod of 2.75 rockets. They have 36 of them in the pod. Well, when the UFO didn't turn, then he got clearance to fire and fired. But instead of the rockets going forward, the second the pod opened, his airplane blew up. And
killing the pilot.
What?
Did the pilot get killed?
We never found the slightest piece of him. I mean, totally destroyed. They drugged the Columbia River for about 30 to 40 miles downstream, and about 20 or 30 upstream, and but they never turned up anything at all.
Mm-hmm. You said you handled some UFO material.
Yes, I have.
What from the Roswell crash?
Yes.
How'd you get it? How'd you get the UFO material? How did it come to you?
Well, that I know of, there were actually two Roswell accidents.
Right.
And the first one we think was just some kind of malfunction in the airplane that they lost control of it. The second one was actually shot down by an experimental American aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to be there. I had to go to Albuquerque
mm-hmm.
to take my annual altitude chamber test.
Mm-hmm.
It's an annual requirement for pilots. And in doing that, Russell explains why I was there. And what happened, you know where White Sands is?
Yeah.
This, an experimental American aircraft with the equipment that looked and functioned like electromagnetic pulse blew the thing out of the sky.
And what year was this?
That would have been, I gotta go look on my records and see.
The 50s.
Anyway, that was just 2 days after the first one.
In 47?
Yes.
Okay. You said you were part of Project Blue Book.
Yeah, I'm one of the authors of it.
Who was directing the overall project, telling you to deny UFO reports or the actual UFO sightings? Who was in charge of that, telling you to say it was swamp gas?
We were told, we were ordered to use whatever kind of story thought we could sell to the American public, or to, in other words, we were ordered. This is what we were.
But who ordered you to do that? Where's the orders coming from?
Well, they came from down the same channels that the regular UFO channels. The Brigadier General Carroll, I don't know if you, was the guy that founded the OSI.
Okay.
And that was a direction that came directly from him.
So he was the top guy in Project Blue Book?
That I know of. Now, I've been told that there was another man that was actually stationed at Wright Pat that was in charge of it. And I don't know that to be true.
And how long were you part of Blue Book for, Project Blue?
It's about 13 years.
And your job was to debunk UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything you saw that was not worth debunking? I mean, how much of the cases you saw did you feel were actually true? Was there a conflict in you about debunking what you believed to be true? How did you deal with that?
You learn to take orders in the military very clearly.
I see.
And do what you're told.
So why are you coming out now, or why? Well,
had I in my belief, had I done this, say, 5 or 6 years ago, it might have cost me my life. But now, you know, I'm in my middle 80s. I don't think it'd be worth their while to bother with me.
So who else?
And I think also that it has reached a point where there are some people very, very high up that want this UFO program, you know, to go through.
To be exposed.
To be what?
To be exposed. They want
Certainly.
to. Who would you guess those people high up are? If you can guess.
If I can guess?
Yeah.
Well, I would guess that they're in the people we refer to as aliens.
Oh, the aliens themselves want that.
Absolutely.
So you feel the aliens and the government are working hand in hand to release this information? Do you think?
Hand in hand?
Well, the aliens are working with the top officials in the government to release this.
I do believe that, yes.
Have you ever met an alien?
Have I ever met one?
Yeah. An EBE?
I've not met one. You know, I've seen their craft. One of them, as a matter of fact, I saw it landed a UFO right near Parker, Arizona, and that has been, what, 5 or 6 years ago.
You saw the UFO land? Did you see it?
No, it was already on the ground.
But you saw it?
Yeah, what happened? It just happened that I had pulled off the side of the road. I was going over to where my grandson and his mother lived. And I looked, and there, to my surprise, this thing sat. And I didn't go near it, but I, of course, knew what it was, and it was sitting there actually on a side hill, and with the main gear down, the triangular, and they extend down, and then they set the length of them so that the UFO is level at all times.
I see.
I would say between 15 and 18 feet in diameter, about 3.5 or 4 feet thick. Out at the wingtips, it's about, I don't know, like this, maybe 4 or 5 inches thick.
Right.
But
did you see any occupants?
No.
I see. And did you see it take off?
As a matter of fact, I went to go to lunch and I came back and it was gone.
So what's your big vision for you? What should the government do about UFOs now? What would be your idea to how to release this?
Well, undoubtedly, we need to establish some kind of, and not national, but I mean this universe and other universes, some kind of, whether it's an international court or an international congress or something of that nature, but there needs to be a framework for the existence of both us and them.
Thank you.